I'm here with Chris Mercier, Tribal Council incumbent, seeking re-election on his 7th term.
We all forgot that, evidently.
Yep, we did. I was just commenting. I thought it was 4 or 5, so I missed. I missed 15 years there.
Yeah.
So, this would be what you would normally be doing, Chris.
It is.
I offered to do this for you because obviously you can't be in 2 places at once.
No, I'm very talented, but I'm not that talented. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here and agreeing to do this.
All right.
Couple questions, but in the spirit of what you would normally do and what you would normally ask, I have the first question is very serious. Are you watching Reservation Dogs?
So I've watched season 1. I haven't started yet on season 2, and from what I understand, season 3 is going to be the last season. So I enjoy it. I'm a big fan of that director, Taika Waititi. He's from New Zealand. He's done like the last 2 Thor movies. He's got the same kind of sense of humor as me. I'm always curious to know like what non-tribal people or like people who aren't part of tribal communities think of that show, because like a lot of the humor, like you almost have to be immersed in it to get. So I think that's what I like about it. Whoever writes the script is obviously really familiar with tribal communities and how rumors are and stuff like that. So it's good. It's good. I mostly binged season 1. I do have to catch up. I don't have Hulu, so I have to rely on other people's passwords. I probably shouldn't be saying that in a video, but
Well, 100%. I love the show, and one minor correction, they just started their 4th season last night.
Oh, okay.
3 episodes came up. I watched 2 last night. Super fun. I love it. And yes, it's 100% reservation humor. And so I do have some friends that don't get it. We just talked about it last night. It's really funny. My favorite is the uncle, brother, cousin.
Gary Farmer. Or,
Yes.
he's been in so many tribal movies since like the 80s. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so I know that's what you would normally do. That's not normally my style, but
it is.
In the spirit of what you would do.
I'm glad I watched it, because it would have been really embarrassing if I'd only watched the first 2 episodes and that was it.
And this is live.
Yeah, is it?
No.
Really?
It's not.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you just had your Smoke Signals podcast. It was roughly 5 to 6 minutes, I believe. So is there
18 minutes, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to expand on that video and just highlight if people haven't been able to hear that yet?
So you listened to it, yes?
Yeah. You sent it to me, and I started from the beginning with all of the candidates.
Okay.
So yours is next.
Okay, so what would I like to expand on? Well, I kind of wrote about this last night, and it's something that I'm excited about. Right now, I think we communicate. I really do. And anyone who says we don't communicate just needs to look at the response we had to like the sponsorships and to the COVID payments a couple years ago. A couple years ago, more than 4,000 adult tribal members, got the news, turned in their paperwork. The sponsorships earlier this year, would we get like 1,000 applications in the first 4 days? So we know people are engaged to a degree, but it's about finding like that right level of engagement to where we can get that kind of responsiveness and everything. And I don't know that like an app's going to necessarily solve all our problems, but I think if people have on their computers, have on their phones, something that's very Grand Ronde specific, rather than relying on like the different social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, the tribe's website, having kind of like one-stop shop for everything Grand Ronde, I'm hoping will raise the level of engagement. Because no matter what, and you know this, we still seem to have like the same 1,000, 1,500 tribal members that vote in all of our elections. And I know, voting's not necessarily like the biggest gauge of civic engagement, but it's the one thing that we have data on, and we have data on it every year, and we seem to average somewhere between those 2 numbers every year. And we would like to just make sure our tribal members are getting, if not every piece of information, but all sort of news blasts, all sort of news flashes, all sort of announcements. So like even this year with the sponsorships, when we launched those, we still had a lot of people who didn't know about them last year. They didn't know about it this year. And ideally, we want somehow to just, if we're not reaching every tribal member, we at least we've taken the opportunity to try to reach out to them. So look for that later this year, hopefully, fingers crossed. We haven't just made a final decision on it, but just some sort of specific tribal app. And I recommend looking at Camp Crier on Umatilla. It's got all the features of like social media and Facebook. And when we talk about communication and raising the level of engagement in our general membership, I think that's one way to go. And so I look forward to continuing those discussions. And again, check out Camp Crier. It kind of gets me excited. Just in terms of communication, we're everywhere. You know, like I said, social media, webpage, print media, a one-stop shop kind of app, I think would just really help.
Yeah, a lot of the members probably don't recognize that you and I tag teamed on that advisory vote question last year. So you were the text component of that, and I was the web portal communication piece on our webpage where people could sign in, have a passcode, you know, specific to that tribal member.
Which is what we're getting into again, yeah. And so I don't like, here's the thing. So you're gonna have people who they're gonna be worried about the extent to which like confidentiality is honored, or the extent to which tribal only information is going to get out to the general public, and that's a risk anytime we branch out like this. So it is going to be kind of an honor system, but if you want more communication and transparency, that is one of the risks that comes from it. That is that your business will be exposed to the larger community.
100%. Awesome. That's all good.
All
right, last question. So you have mentioned a couple times that this might be, if you get reelected, could be your last term. You could change your mind.
While I'm young, I could foresee coming back when I'm an elder, which I'm getting closer to that. But as I've stated, and people who point out that I've said that before, that's fine. It's a legitimate criticism. But I'm kind of to the point.
You're allowed to change your mind.
That's fine. That's fine. And I'm to the point to where I am looking at life after council, and there are a lot of things that I want to do, and I've said this before, that are just really hard to do while I'm here. And life is short. You know, we should, you know, the tribe's focusing more on like work-life balance, and that includes us. And I love this job. I love this community, and no matter what, I don't regret doing it. But taking a break 10 years ago really helped me, even though law school, you know, isn't exactly a vacation, and it would probably do me some good to just step away, maybe after another 3 years, or maybe sooner. We'll see how the election goes. You know, like I said at the forum, we've got some good candidates, we've got some good people on council. I'm super happy that it has not been a negative campaign. All the challengers, I feel, have kept their campaigns pretty positive and are talking about what they can do for members. So that's good. So that makes me confident that if things don't go my way in the election, I'm pretty sure, you know, we'll have good people continuing to run the tribe.
That's awesome. What would you like to see accomplished in the next 3 years?
So, like I just talked about with the app there, communication, transparency, and I know that they're tired words and phrases, but they are things that we can always improve on. I would like to go back to revisit declassifying a lot of our old records and stuff that just kind of sit and remain unseen. It is a bit of a Pandora's box, but you know, if you want transparency and openness, that's what you have to deal with. And then enrollment with the 99 amendment. I just feel like we're really close to resolving that. Like, are we at the 67% that we need? I don't know, but I feel like the general membership and the council are looking for solutions. We finally recognize these long-standing problems and people want to deal with them. I would be ecstatic to like solve that problem before I go out.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
All right.
So we'll do another one of these maybe in a couple weeks. And
yeah, I have a lot more to say, but I know people's attention spans on these videos.
And then in the meantime, you can get caught up on your Res Dogs, and we can talk about that.
I will. I will binge season 2, and then you can ask me about it.
All right.
I might need your Hulu password.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.